Ow!
Greetings, YouTube. This is DecKrash, better known as Brandon. Please excuse that noise. It's my tablet device keeps on pinging every single time something pops up on Facebook. I really need to adjust its settings. Anyway, so this video, I'm taking a little time out to do this little rant before I do my next video, which is going to be something totally different. But this is connected to the last video I did in response to that video about yes, I am vegan, and yes, I'm judging you, and I made that video, I'm vegan, and I'm not vegan, excuse me, and I'm judging you back because of a particular little thing that has emerged in the war zone that is the comments section right at this moment uh, by vegans who have been popping in and completely not getting the point. As a matter of fact, some of their responses have come up, making me wonder if they even watched the video or even listened to what I've said. And I think maybe they did, but because they are so lacking in self-awareness or actual education in philosophy, they don't understand this particular point. And before I go into this, just want to let people know, as I reminded people before I even began that last video, is I have nothing against vegans in general, nothing against veganism in general. If you want to participate in that kind of a diet, it's totally your thing. I don't understand well, actually, I do on an intellectual level understand the attraction to switching your diet to that of a horse, but that's your thing. If you want to do that, I totally agree. There may be some benefits to the vegan lifestyle, but as I said before, that's really a result of it's a luxury lifestyle. It's a result of our current levels of technology that we have, that we can even have that kind of lifestyle. 100 years ago, you would not be able to have a vegan lifestyle unless you were the 1% of the 1%. I'm talking big, huge mansion in the country, have servants waiting on you hand and foot, rich. Because back then, your average person worked hours of backbreaking labor from sunup to sundown. And just having a diet that only had vegetable matter without a lot of the reinforcements of vitamins and minerals added to certain foods like they didn't have back then, you wouldn't have gotten a quality diet in order to do the type of work that people did back then. You wouldn't survive. But all that aside, the issue at hand is the one where I had mentioned I was basically saying that the issue of vegans, and by the way, I'm sorry, I stopped in the middle of my thought. I have no problem with vegans. Veganism. The problem I have is some vegans, the militant ones, the ones that act like they are a the some sort of superior master race because they choose not to eat meat and sit there and proselytize to us. And when we reject them each time, then they act like they treat us like we need to be relegated to be sitting in the back of the bus. Those kinds of vegans get on my nerves because your choice of what you eat does not make you better than other people. Okay, so anyway, this is about what the vegans were what was said in that video in regards to uh, the way these types of militant vegans try to make it look like we have some sort of moral obligation to not kill animals for food. The problem is that this is a purely arbitrary um, mandate. What they want us to do, for some reason, they put animals on the same level of moral responsibility as we do. They talk about us killing animals for food as murdering animals. Well, murder, dictionary definition, if memory serves, and I'm going to look that up right quick. I should have done this before I started the video, admittedly. Okay. Okay, so I'm on dictionary.com. That usually borrows from Webster's Dictionary of Memory Serves. All right, the killing of another human being under conditions specifically covered in law. In the U.S., special statutory definitions include murder committed with malice aforethought, characterized by deliberation or premeditation, or occurring during the commission of another serious crime, such as robbery or arson, first-degree murder, and murder by intent, but without deliberation or premeditation, second-degree murder. So, and there's two other, excuse me, let me see here. The other two definitions are not connected to in the concept that we're trying to get at, and that's slaying, something that's extremely difficult or perilous, such as the final exam was murder. Third definition, a group or flock of crows, a murder of crows. Number four, however, is connected to the first definition. Law, to kill by an act of constituting murder. So it refers to the first definition, which of course is still killing a human. To kill or slaughter inhumanely or barbarously. All right, and number six, to spoil or mar by bad performance, representation, pronunciation, etc. The tenor murdered the aria. Okay, there's good grief. Several other definitions here. To commit murder. This uses verb. To get away with murder. Okay, that's all just using idioms. Okay, the only thing that would cover a vegan's definition of what they're trying to say is to kill or slaughter inhumanely or barbarously. Now, the problem is that usually the main definition in a dictionary definition is the one that it has the most significance as a definition for murder, and it's talking about killing of another human being. And the way that vegans present this is they're trying to say that killing an animal is tantamount to murder. In other words, us killing a human being. Well, there is a problem there. First of all, the definition of what they're trying to say is you're killing a sentient being. Sentient means self-aware, and but not like, but it's that definition's very flexible because there are most animals, well, many different species of animals are self-aware to a certain extent, but the definition we're looking at, the description we're looking at is sapient, which means self-aware in the respect that we are self-aware, able to metacognate, for instance, to grow beyond just the confines of our own instinct and genetic traits. We have the ability to do those things. Animals do not. Animals are a classification of life that is, by definition, lower than humans. We do, I believe, have a moral responsibility to care for animals and treat them humanely. But it does not mandate that we not kill them for food. Now, I'm speaking this from a unique worldview as a Christian. There is nothing in Scripture that says that we cannot kill an animal for food. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the computer and there's something in my hair. All right, so there's nothing in Scripture that tells us we cannot kill an animal for food. Now, this, like I said, it's from a unique worldview. And the reason why I'm using this worldview is because it does have justifications for it. And also in connection to what our biology is. And that we are biologically omnivores. Our biologies are set so that we can eat both plants and animals. Now, first of all, animals are not humans. They're a lower classification of life form. So killing an animal for food is not necessarily barbarous, especially if you do it quickly and humanely. Like many slaughterhouses do, they just take a bullet to the animal's head and the deed is done. Okay? So it's very quick and humane. That is not murder. So once again, I ask, by whose authority are you saying that this is murder? Okay? From what I've seen and from these arguments I've been having with these militant vegans, I keep popping in on that the comment section of my prior video. It seems to me that they're just basically using arbitrary definitions for the term. This is the reason why I said that if you're going to apply your view of how animals are, if you're going to sit here and say that we have a moral duty to not kill animals, well, why is it just us? Why is it that you're pinning this moral duty to humans, but not to other animals. To me, it seems like you're just making an arbitrary distinction, right? And even if we are higher than animals, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have a moral duty to not kill animals for food. And by the way, if you're going to say that, well, that just directly contradicts the way that many of these militant vegans seem to see animals as on the same level of importance of preservation as humans. Well, where do they get that? And thus far, no one in the comment section has been able to explain that to me. And that is the reason why I said, well, if you are seeing animals on the same level of importance as humans, and giving us a moral imperative to not kill them for food, where are you getting this moral imperative from? If you were just saying because we're humans and they're animals, well, that's just arbitrary. So, in the end of the day, you cannot use that. And you're still making a moral imperative to us. Why can't you make that moral imperative for a lion in the Serengeti to tell it is wrong to kill a gazelle? Well, somebody said, well, because it's a lion, it's an animal. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're trying to tell us that it's murder to kill an animal. Why is it not murder when a lion does it? That is the issue here. The whole concept, the whole vegan worldview about killing animals for food doesn't stem from a morally rational perspective. That's the problem. And they have yet to explain how. As a matter of fact, they've been the ones trying to tell me that it's not that I'm the one who has the problem here, and yet they've never been able to explain how. That they're trying to say that their view is the rational one, but never able to explain how. And when I try to show them how their worldview is not rational and is itself arbitrary, they have no idea what I'm talking about, and and one of them actually had the gall to try to flip it on me when they themselves were not able to defend their own worldview. And when I defended mine, really it wasn't even a matter of me defending mine. It was just a matter of me telling them to, what you're doing is not rationally tenable. I think that person should need to be educated a little bit more, or at least get an education on this a little bit more, if you ask me. So I'm probably going to get another whole bunch of flack for this particular video. And hey, my body is ready. Bring it on. So if you want to keep doing that, if you want to keep trying to pitch all this vitriol at me, hey, go ahead. But you just start getting completely disrespectful and irreverent. Well, not so much irreverent, but just completely nasty and ugly. And I'm not going to waste my time with you. Trolls, as I say, will be eliminated. Well, then again, no one's been giving trollish behavior, just making so many accusations toward me. I couldn't care less. As I said, I don't have a problem with eating meat, and I never will have a problem with eating meat. And I'm sorry, your vegan propaganda of slaughterhouses and everything like that will not work on me. I live in Louisiana. I have an uncle who has a barn. I've watched him slaughter animals. I've seen animals being slaughtered. I could eat while watching it. So, I mean, I don't really care, guys. I don't really have a dog in this fight, but the only reason why I made that video is because that lady was saying the dumbest things, and I thought it was worth making a video over. Anyway, I wait your responses, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. As always, like I said, just keep it civil. Hey, you can sit there and try to badmouth me if you want, but it's not gonna really do you much good. Anyway, thanks again for watching, everyone. And as always, guys, this is DecKrash, better known as Brandon. Stay lucky and stay blessed. Take care.